What if I told you that one man once controlled almost all of America's oil, made more money than you could spend in 1,000 lifetimes, and his wealth was so massive it equaled TWO% of the entire United States economy? This isn't fiction. This is the story of John D. Rockefeller, America's first billionaire, the man who became so powerful that the government had to break up his empire. But here's the twist: he gave almost all of it away. Stay tuned, because this story will completely change how you think about wealth, power, and legacy. Teach beginning. Born on July 8, 1839 in Richford, New York, John Davison Rockefeller's early life seemed anything but destined for greatness. His father, William Avery Rockefeller, was a traveling salesman peddling dubious miracle cures and was often gone for months. Some called him a snake oil salesman, others whispered darker accusations. Young John rarely saw his father, but when he did, William taught him shrewd lessons about making and keeping money. His mother, Eliza, was the opposite, deeply religious, strict, and devoted to the Baptist faith. She raised John and his 5 siblings with iron discipline, teaching them to work hard, save every penny, and give to those less fortunate. From his mother, John learned to tithe, giving 10% of his income to the church, a habit he maintained his entire life. The family moved frequently, eventually settling in Cleveland, Ohio in 1853. At just 16 years old, John landed his first job as an assistant bookkeeper, earning 50 cents a day. He was so proud of this achievement that he celebrated September 26th as his personal job day for the rest of his life. By age 20, with savings from his job and a loan from his entrepreneurial father, Rockefeller opened his own commodities brokerage, buying and selling grain, coal, and other goods. Then, in 1859, everything changed. America's first oil well was drilled in Titusville, Pennsylvania, and the oil rush began. THRSC of Stuttgart Oil. Rockefeller saw something others didn't. While prospectors scrambled to drill oil wells, he realized the real money wasn't in finding oil, it was in refining it. In 1863, at just 24 years old, he invested in a Cleveland oil refinery. Within 2 years, through borrowed money and relentless reinvestment of profits, it became the largest refinery in Cleveland. Rockefeller had a simple philosophy: let the good work go on. We are refining oil for the poor man, and he must have it cheap and good. And he delivered. By focusing on efficiency and scale, he drove down the price of kerosene from 58 cents per gallon to just 8 cents, making lighting affordable for millions of American families. On January 10, 1870, Rockefeller founded the Standard Oil Company of Ohio with his brother William, business partner Henry Flagler, and other associates. The company started with $1 million in capital. Rockefeller's strategy was ruthless but effective. He would approach competitors with an offer, sell to Standard Oil for a fair price in cash or stock, or face being driven out of business. His methods were controversial. He negotiated secret rebates with railroads, giving Standard Oil massive cost advantages over competitors. He bought out 22 of his 26 Cleveland competitors within just the first 3 months of 1872. By 1882, Rockefeller controlled 90% of America's oil refining. He created the nation's first major corporate trust, placing all Standard Oil properties under a board of 9 trustees with himself at the head. Standard Oil's blue barrels, delivered by well-groomed horses, became symbols of quality across America. The company didn't just dominate, it revolutionized an entire industry, introducing vertical integration, pipeline systems, and systematic business organization that became models for modern corporations worldwide. But with great power came great scrutiny. THB Kalish, as Rockefeller's wealth grew to unimaginable heights, so did the criticism. By 1913, his personal fortune reached $900 million, nearly 3% of the entire United States GDP. Adjusted for inflation, that's approximately $23 billion in today's money. But it gets even more staggering. In 1937, when he died, his fortune represented 1.5% of America's total economic output. To put that in perspective, if Bill Gates had proportional wealth in 2018, his net worth would have been 7 times larger than it actually was. Rockefeller became a symbol of corporate greed and monopolistic power. Muckraking journalist Ida Tarbell, whose father had been driven out of the oil business by Rockefeller's aggressive tactics, published The History of the Standard Oil Company between 1902 and 1904. Her 19-part expose documented Standard Oil's espionage, predatory pricing, heavy-handed marketing, and courtroom evasions. Although Tarbell acknowledged she never objected to Standard Oil's size or wealth, she wrote, "But they had never played fair, and that ruined their greatness for me." Rockefeller dismissed her privately as Miss Tarbell, but remained publicly silent, a strategy that may have been his biggest mistake. The public backlash intensified. Reform politicians, newspapers, and everyday Americans viewed him as the face of a rigged system. Then came the government. In 1890, Congress passed the Sherman Antitrust Act, targeting monopolies like Standard Oil. After years of legal battles, the Supreme Court ruled in 1911 that Standard Oil violated federal antitrust laws and must be dissolved. The company was broken into 34 separate entities. including what would become ExxonMobil and Chevron, some of which remain among the largest corporations in the world today. Ironically, the breakup made Rockefeller even richer, as the individual company's stock values soared. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. From the moment Rockefeller earned his first paycheck at age 16, he gave money away. His first year of employment, earning just $45 total, he donated 6% to charity. As his wealth exploded, so did his giving. By 1865, he was donating over $1,000 annually. His ledger documented gifts to Baptist missions, a Catholic orphanage, Swedish immigrants, and even funds to purchase freedom for an enslaved woman in Cincinnati. During church services, he would scan the pews, identifying people in need and discreetly helping them. After retiring from day-to-day operations of Standard Oil in 1897 at age 56, Rockefeller devoted himself entirely to philanthropy. He hired Frederick Taylor Gates to help manage his giving systematically, creating what we now recognize as modern, organized philanthropy. The numbers are staggering. Rockefeller donated over $500 million during his lifetime. He gave $80 million to the University of Chicago, transforming it from a small Baptist college into a world-class institution. He called it the best investment I ever made. He established the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, now Rockefeller University, pioneering biomedical science. His General Education Board received $50 million and worked to improve education across America, particularly in the South. In 1909, he founded the Rockefeller Sanitary Commission, which by 1927 had nearly eradicated hookworm disease across the southern United States. The Rockefeller Foundation, established in 1913 with a mandate to advance the well-being of mankind, launched massive international health campaigns against malaria, typhus, tuberculosis, and yellow fever. It funded the creation of dozens of schools of public health worldwide, including Johns Hopkins School of Hygiene and Public Health and the Harvard School of Public Health. During World War I, the foundation delivered over $22 million in relief aid to war-torn Belgium, Serbia, and Armenia. In the 1920s, it funded archaeological excavations. In the 1930s, it helped rescue over 300 Jewish scientists from Nazi Germany. By the time of his death on May 23, 1937, at age 97, Rockefeller's estate totaled just $26 million. He had given away virtually everything. Legacy. So what do we make of John D. Rockefeller? History has rarely produced such a contradictory figure. Was he a ruthless monopolist who crushed competitors and corrupted the free market? Absolutely. Did his aggressive business tactics harm countless people and small businesses? Without question. But did he also revolutionize an industry, make kerosene affordable for millions, and transform philanthropy undeniably? One historian noted that Rockefeller's wealth was the least tainted of all the great fortunes of his day. Another wrote that he was more humane toward competitors than Carnegie. Yet these assessments clash with the documented evidence of railroad rebates, espionage, and predatory pricing. Perhaps the truth is that Rockefeller was both a brilliant businessman who changed capitalism forever and a monopolist whose power grew so dangerous that democracy itself required his empire's dismantling. He was a devout Baptist who attended church every Sunday, often visiting African American congregations and leaving substantial donations. Yet his business practices were anything but Christian. What's certain is his impact. The companies spawned from Standard Oil still power our world. The institutions he funded, from universities to hospitals to research facilities, continue advancing human knowledge. The model of systematic, strategic philanthropy he pioneered now guides billionaires worldwide. Rockefeller lived 97 years and saw both the rise of kerosene lighting and the dawn of the automobile age. He was saddened by Standard Oil's breakup and by the Great Depression, but he knew he had lived a full life. And that's the incredible story of John D. Rockefeller, the man who built an empire so powerful it had to be broken, yet whose greatest legacy might not be his business at all, but rather what he chose to do with his fortune. If you found this story fascinating, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into history's most influential figures. Drop a comment below. Do you think Rockefeller was a villain, a hero, or something in between? And if you want to see more stories about the titans of industry who shaped our modern world, let me know who you'd like to hear about next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.